Okay, today's lesson is going to be on cutting a mat. We're going to cut mats to make our photographs look more appealing. And we'll start off with a mat board, and then when we're done, we're going to end up having a nice photograph framed and matted. Now, the steps can be a little confusing, so feel free to watch this video as many times as necessary. We're going to start off with our mat board here that is 8 inches by 10 inches, and our photograph here, which is 5 by 7 inches. So we have to do a little bit of math. So the first thing we need to do is subtract 5 from 8, and that's going to leave us with 3 inches. And we need to divide that in half, okay, or by 2, and that's going to leave us with 1 and 1/2 inches. Subtract 7 from 10, that's going to leave us again with 3 inches, and we need to divide it by 2, and guess what? Again, 1 and 1/2 inches. 1/2 inches. So that's going to be our border around our photograph. So we're going to cut an opening 5 by 7. Once we have the math figured out, we can go ahead and turn our attention to the mat cutter, which is here. We need to set the fence up to 1.5 inches. And if we can see, there's a little ruler here. It's very similar to what a table saw is, because here's our fence. We have 2 parallel lines. This would be the blade. This would be the adjustable fence. And I like to make it a little bit bigger than 1.5 inches. I like to go a 1/16 or an 1/8 inch larger. That way we'll have a little room to play with around our border. It'll cut in a little bit. But if we make any mistakes in measuring, it'll help hide. So we have it set at just a little more than 1.5 inches. I bring my board. We're going to work on the back side, or the white side. We slide it under the bridge and just draw lines completely around. Make sure it's tight against the fence. Again, all 4 sides, all 4 lines, the entire width of the mat board. This should make for a 5 by 7 frame. The line should be parallel. We can always double check using a ruler. And it's just under 7 inches. And it should be just under 5 inches. Exactly. Now we're going to bring our attention back to the mat cutter, but I want to lay a piece of mat board underneath so we're not directly cutting down. We slide it back in. We grab our tool, and we have our mat cutter. Notice the sharp blade. Be very careful in how we can adjust it. Right? Notice when we put it on, there's a track that allows it to run smooth. And we want to draw our attention to this little line on the cutter itself. That's our start and then our stop point. Now you understand why we took our lines the entire length around. Notice how I have always the shorter, or the border, up against the fence. The bigger part of the mat is left here. So I slide the cutter into the cutting position at the starting position, and then I pull it towards the stop position. Slide it up, and I'll just work the entire way around the mat. Slide it. Yep. Push it in. Slide it down. I didn't have the mat cutter in the right track. It wasn't in the track. Slide it. Hold the fence down. Pull it till the white line hits the white line. The lines match up. Pick it up. Put it in. If If you're taking the cutter off like I am, make sure it's lined up again. Again, push the mat down, the cutter down, slide it over to the other line, push it up. You can just slide the cutter out of the way, turn it, slide it back into position, down, and cut it right into position. Once we open it, the mat should slide out. We have a perfectly cut mat that then we can slide our picture in, center it correctly, and then tape the back edge in permanent position. And there we have it. If you need to make some adjustments, we can adjust it, slide it down, but that was the way our mat should be. Thank you. Thanks for watching 9-Fingered Photography. Good luck